Ladies and gentlemen, today we stand at a crossroad in our lives. We have a choice to make, a decision that can change everything. Today we could choose to be grateful, or we could choose to be spoiled. Which path will you take?
So, welcome to the channel. I've got Deepak here. You've heard his voice in the introduction. So the reason why I brought you to this video, why I wanted to collaborate with you, is simply I wanted to get your opinions on gratitude. First of all, do you practice gratitude? And if so, what are the things you're most grateful for?
Yeah, no, great question. So when I'm talking about gratitude, I can only talk for myself. I definitely do practice gratitude. I know you do.
Of course.
I think we kind of remind each other to do it. The reason I practice gratitude is just, it's more so to ground you as a person. I feel like in life you get so bogged down with fancy cars, the goals, the ambitions, and life can very quickly get on top of you.
Yeah.
And I think gratitude really has a way of holding you down. Mine's really simple. It doesn't need to be extravagant.
Yeah.
It's just more so what's important to me, what's priceless to me. And what's priceless to me is my family, my loved ones, people like you, got a good community around me. And then just the opportunity to live. Like, I genuinely look at my hands sometimes and just, I'm grateful to be alive and get given the chance.
Yeah.
One quote that always sits with me is, the majority of people, I know you don't, but the majority of people wake up in the morning and like, I have to go to work.
Yeah.
Or I have to provide for my family. Whereas if you change one word, the whole meaning is different. If you change have to become I get to, it's so different. I get to provide for my family. That's such a privilege.
It is.
I get to go to work. That's such a blessing. And I feel these slight words and language are very powerful. And I think that's why I do gratitude. But I'll be interested to see why you do it. That's my side of the table. But
Of course. I mean, I hear this every single day because we're in this camp together. However, for the people who don't know, you see how fucking refreshing that is. Refreshing compared to, you know, I have to be a millionaire, and if I'm not, I'm depressed. You know, I have to have ripped up abs in the space of 6 weeks. If I don't, I'm depressed. I think it's a lot of social media influence that create these high standards and barriers for ourselves that literally fuel unhappiness.
100%.
So when I switched up personally and I started thinking, you know what, I'm grateful that I woke up today. I'm grateful that I've eaten. I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. Every single day I'm reminded of the things going on in the world that are, you know, so crazy. Wars, earthquakes, you know, massacres and so on. And you think, you know what am I actually doing? I'm just having a coffee right now and life is blessed. There's no immediate dangers walking in through that door.
Bro, we could go back and name you 2 stories right now.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be interesting for story number 1. You remember back in the day when we were in nomics?
Yeah.
And basically, this story for you as well. We were in nomics and stressful. Very, very stressful. Things were coming down. We had a lot of shit going on. And then I remember getting a phone call from you. Come to the office. So I was like, yeah, cool.
Oh,
extra
no.
work. No, not that story. Not that story. Not that story. Bear with me. So come to work. I was like, yeah, cool, let's do the work. Sat downstairs in the office bit. And then all you guys a phone call. You know the story I'm on about?
Yeah.
All you guys a phone call. And I'm doing my work and I look over to you. And in my fucking nearly 20 years of knowing you, I didn't see this face before. And you just got off the fucking phone, knowing that you potentially your whole bloodline, your whole family is nearly being bombed to pieces. On that very street. In that moment, you've realised whatever the fuck you're stressing about, it's not important. And that's why we do gratitude.
Yeah.
Because in life, it's the things that money can't buy which mean the most. Hence the phrase priceless. And another story is less impactful than that one, is when I work with someone and there's been a bit of a mix-up and we had a bit of, not between us, just work's work. And then I send him a message that, look, this is what's happened. Next thing you know, he replies with, I've just escaped death. Got family, everything. and you're like, you what? And all he's bothered about now is leaving what he can for the kids. Fuck the business.
Yeah.
Fuck everything else. It happened. Like, that's what it means to be grateful. Because in an instant, your whole life can change.
Just like that.
And that's what it is. And before I know, stop ranting on, let me ask you a question. It's a tough one. What's the chances your mom gonna die?
100%.
100%. What's the chance your dad gonna die?
100%.
Me?
100%. Yeah.
Everyone you know is gonna die.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
So that's a day to be sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We've experienced
100%. Everyone, that's a day to be sad, and you have a right to be sad. Every other day that a bar catastrophe, you don't really have a right. Like, as in, yeah, you're here all today, express your feelings, but express what you're grateful for as well.
Yeah. So, in that instant, when, to come back to the first story you told, when I did get that phone call, we were stressing about all business matters, you know, why isn't the business working, this and that. And then I get a phone call of my mum absolutely crying over the phone. And she's believed, obviously, there was a war going on back in my country. And, you know, she's not sure that if everyone is still alive or not. At that point is where I got a slap in the face with reality. And you know me, I don't cry, but that instant, it took every sort of stress I had on this side of the world, instantly gone. I mean, luckily, everyone is fine now, but it did a hard reset on my brain. What is actually important is the people around you and so on. So in terms of being grateful for a lot of things, it's what you have currently, which is the most important, and the things that can be taken away as well. Your family can be taken away. Your living standards can be taken away. Your life can be taken away.
In an instant.
In an instant. And it's scary. And when you told me the second story as well, it's exactly the same thing.
100%.
It's prioritizing what is important. And we fail to do that as a society. So my next question to you is, what is wrong with today's society and gratitude, whether it's social media influence, whether it's, you know, music or whatever, what do you think is actually wrong with today's generation?
Right. I mean, that's a really funny question.
Yeah.
All right, how do I say this?
Look, we both know there's a lot of shit wrong with today's generation. It's horrible, but just, you don't have to be too in detail.
Okay. So I'm just going to put it down to two things.
Yeah.
Right. I'm extremely grateful to be born in this generation.
Okay.
I swear to God, you're going to get banned.
It doesn't matter, go on.
Right. I'm extremely grateful to be born in this generation because the opportunity available is amazing. Genuinely, to create wealth, it has never been easier. For a coloured man, it's never been easier. So yeah, very, very grateful. What makes it easier is, with all disrespect, is men have become bitches. I'm being genuinely serious. Like, you fuckers don't stand for nothing. You can't promise yourself and keep something. You're on TikTok watching 17-year-old, 18-year-old girls shake whatever they got.
Yeah. It's no longer a kids' platform now.
What, have you not got nothing better to do with yourself? Like, genuinely, men are becoming weak. They don't stand for nothing, and it really disgusts me. And if anything, it makes it easier for men like you to get women, men like you to become successful. So yeah, it makes it easy for us. Obviously, I'm going to be grateful.
Yeah.
Now, why I'm not grateful is, Jesus Christ. You try to find a partner in today's world.
Oh,
bro,
that's a whole nother topic.
I've got my 2 pence on this, but I think people need
genuinely
your 2 pence.
I don't want to touch on it too much. I'll save that for another video. In terms of finding a partner in this generation. However, in the terms of, you are right, people in this generation are soft, weak, and they don't want to change. You know, it is. Back then, you know, you might compare, the previous generations, that they're different and we're more advanced and so on. they had their values in check. Their families were in check. They knew what was important to them. For the men, for example, was to provide, to support the family, to be the absolute barrier holding every other stress away from his family. Now it's a generation of, you know, weak-minded people that can't even get their priorities in check.
I'm going to touch you on for you. I know it's supposed to be a short video, but
yeah.
What do you take of the advice that men should be open about how they're feeling and speak about it all the time?
So, to answer that question in terms of whether men should be more open with their emotions and so on, I can't speak for all men, but I can speak for myself personally. So, with myself, even if I was in relationships, I never found myself to be too emotional and, you know, actually expressing all my feelings and so on. For some reason, I had it in my head that my partner at the time, or whoever, a woman, let's say an example, would see me as weak. And a lot of men struggle with that problem. They actually think, you know, opening up emotionally would make you weak. However, for me, what actually personally worked is I only open up to kind of like my brotherhood circle. You know, people going through the same things, like similar age, going through life together, step by step. They see your struggles every single day. For me, example is our community around us. And when a time of vulnerability comes and I feel like I simply cannot hold it no more, I'm fully against holding anything, by the way. I feel like once you have a close-knit group, you can sit down and actually have that conversation. Look, I'm feeling this type of way and I don't know how to deal with it. That's what's worked for me.
What about people who don't have that group?
So for people who don't have that group, I mean, you can always create that group, I'll be honest. If it's not in person, you can definitely speak to someone online, 100%. I know people that have been in such states so far down the line that they had to speak to someone over the phone or they were going to end their life right there and then.
100%.
That's the result of holding and pushing, you know, shit down for years and years and years. And it will take one little thing to absolutely blow a gasket.
I agree. I just think me and you are very blessed because we have a group of 12 that we can turn to. And not 12 friends, 12 brothers. So someone, in a way of practical advice, someone who doesn't have that group, find someone online if you can. And you can find someone if you're proactive. That was a very interesting take. I think me personally, I agree with everything you said. I think men shouldn't bottle anything. Let's just clarify, bottle anything, especially with suicide and etc. etc. But at the same time, it's not an invitation to fucking pour your heart out to every Tom, Dick and Harry. It's not an invitation to show you're weak to your partner.
Okay, so for the viewers, obviously they've watched us speak about our own personal opinions and advice and so on. But how does that all tie in with gratitude? So everything we said in terms of, you know, the generations now, they're getting weaker, they're getting softer, and it's hard to kind of be strong nowadays. It's very rare. I don't really meet strong people. I know people who have gone through a lot of stuff. Doesn't necessarily make them strong though. Do you know what I mean? So in terms of gratitude, what can this generation do to be more grateful? Give me like a certain practice or something they can do every single day that can lead them to a happier and better life.
That's a really good question. I think the first place they can start is knowing that gratitude is just one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, 100%.
Do not get this twisted. If you sit in front of a mirror and say, I'm grateful for this, that, and the other, like your life's automatically going to get better. It doesn't work out. It's action, consistency, discipline, determination, etc., etc. For me, just gratitude is the number one way to ground yourself. I feel when you're lost, apply gratitude.
Yeah.
You're probably one of the most consistent people I know. What would you say in terms of how to apply it consistently?
So for me, I've spoke on this in previous videos, but I have a daily non-negotiables. So my daily non-negotiables include, 30 minutes of exercise, 10-minute meditation, writing down my prayers and affirmation, and so on. So if you have something that is non-negotiable, meaning you're going to do it regardless of how you feel, not only are you going to be more grateful, but you're going to build a mind where, you know, it doesn't just look at every shiny thing. You're going to build a disciplined mind. So what I'd say is every single day, you don't have to literally have a pen and paper and write down. But when you go off to work, when you wake up, while you're eating breakfast, any time that you and yourself completely up here are completely alone, just say 3 things that you're grateful for today. I mean, you could say, I'm grateful for my car. But me personally, I say, look, I'm grateful that, you know, my family are here and they're happy. I'm grateful that I get the opportunity to come out and work every single day. I'm grateful for my future. Even though the future is not guaranteed, I'm still grateful. And I can't lie to you, 100 out of 100, it puts a smile on my face. And then I carry on my day.
There's a difference between saying it and meaning it.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. I mean, yeah, it's one of the pillars to why we're doing better in life and why we hope to continue to help others as well.
Yeah, 100%. So, just wanted to wrap this video up. I did say it was going to be a short video, but we've got a lot of golden nuggets here. So, I just want to really thank you for coming on the channel and just kind of explaining your own advice and opinions. And I mean, we've been closest friends, basically brothers, since we were kids. So, you know, I hear you preach and speak and also put this into action every single day. So it's not bullshit. A lot of people come out and speak bullshit. But I just want to say thank you and definitely I appreciate the words you've spoken today.
100%. And I just want to thank you for letting me on the show. To all these viewers and future viewers, I think when we're old and we look back on this, it'll be quiet, it'll be fun. But my 2 pence at this time and day is you ain't bullshitted or lied once. You know, you get these guys on social media and all the fucking ruckus out there.
Yeah.
You ain't lied. You stood by what you believed in. I've seen you change your life in a very short period of time.
Yeah. And
you became the person who you were supposed to be. And you know, by no means a complete article. But my God, you're on your way. And I think that's very powerful.
Amazing. Thank you, D. Cheers.
We live in a world where success is measured by what we have, by our possessions and our wealth. We're taught to always want more, to never be satisfied, and constantly strive for something better. But what about what we already have? What about the basics in life that we should be grateful for every single day? I want to challenge you tonight to think about how privileged you are in a Western society compared to the rest of the world. We have access to clean water, we have a roof over our head, and we have food on our plates. But there are millions of people around the world who don't have these basic necessities. They don't have access to clean water, they sleep on the streets, and they go hungry. Yeah, we complain about not having enough. We compare ourselves to each other, and we take the basics for granted. We are spoiled, and it's time to wake up and realize it. But here's the thing, gratitude can change everything. When you start to appreciate the little things in life, when we start to express gratitude for what we have, our entire perspective changes. Let's choose to be grateful. Let's choose to change what we want to see in the world. And let's choose to make a difference in the lives of those who are less fortunate than us.